just like in the periphery. Yeah, I like to save some money and save, but this has now gone front and center. This is the biggest reason they're probably going to go ahead and do it. And again, remember, there's logic and there's emotion. Logic, people agree with logic. Oh, that makes sense. It saves money over the long run. But that doesn't get people to take action. Just because it makes sense doesn't mean I'm going to do it. How often have you heard somebody agree with everything you say and say, oh yeah, this totally makes sense. I want to think about it. Right? So logic doesn't equal jumping in. Logic equals agreement, but agreement is not the goal. Our goal is not to get people to agree with us. Now, sometimes I think we focus on that. We get into it's almost like we're debating and we're going to prove to them we're right and we're going to make our case. And we focus on it as if our goal is to get them to agree with us. But that stops short of them taking action. So by asking these kind of questions and connecting the emotional side of what that would do for them, what would be the benefit, how would that change their life in some way, it's actually going to bring down their resistance, because I don't even have to talk them into it at this point. Like, they already know there's pain. I've just identified it. I asked the question that exposed it. Maybe it was out of sight, out of mind, and it wasn't in their forefront of their mind, but it was already there. I didn't give them that pain. I just asked the question that uncovered it. And then I asked the follow-up to see how deep it went. And then I asked the follow-up to get them an emotional feeling. And there's third level emotional questions in a positive sense, and there's third level emotional questions in a negative sense. So from the positive standpoint, we just did the example of how would it make you feel to know that that's going to happen, or to know that you've got that covered and it's a reality. You're going to take that trip, or that college tuition is paid for, or you're going to pay off your house that much sooner, whatever it is. How would it feel knowing that's already handled? And they're like, oh, that would feel great. But I can use the same thing as a negative